and welcome back to Creative Pet Keeping. Today I have a very special treat for you. It is going to be a tour of a fish store that predominantly specializes in just selling betta fish. There are hundreds upon hundreds of bettas to choose from, so why don't we get started and check out Prism Bettas. As soon as you walk into the shop, you are met with a 125-gallon tank with female bettas, which is very, very impressive. And I'll show you a bit more in a little bit, but the big and very impressive thing is the huge rack system where all of the fish are being housed temporarily. This is a beanie system, so all of these are Beanie Baby containers that are used to house all of the fish temporarily. There are predominantly males here, but there are females as well. And each container is heated by special cable that runs underneath. The containers themselves are separated by these cards, which are all the colorful cards that you see. That ensures that the fish only flare when you want them to, so there is controlled exercise and there's no over flaring. And you will also see a lot of different mosses and plants inside that help keep the water clean. Now these jars do all get water changes 3 times a week, which is a lot of water changes for a lot of jars. And of course, this is a normal pet shop as well with other dry goods and a couple of other fish, but obviously the big main focus is bettas. There's also beautiful betta art and cups and merchandise that you can check out yourself. I'll have a link down below. But the exciting thing about this shop, other than being able to see all these beautiful, beautiful fish in person, is the fact that you can buy them online, and Casey does ship them throughout the US. So if you go to her website, you can check out some of these fish. As you watch this video, if you see a particular fish that you like, there is a chance that that fish might still be available on her website. So who knows, maybe you will get lucky and find yourself the perfect betta that you have fallen in love with. So these fish are a mix of imported fish from overseas, as well as some fish that Casey has bred herself and other members of the International Betta Congress, which is a really, really cool betta related club. I did actually attend one of the International Betta Congress shows, and I have a video on that, so I will link that down below as well in case you wanted to see what a betta competition looks like. As we take a closer look at some of these fish, let me know down in the comments below which fish is your favorite or which color types or patterns you like to see in bettas. I am, of course, very much still in love with marbles because I really love all of the different colors and patterns that you can see in these fish. And my favorite tail type is still the plaquette, which you actually see on screen. This is the shorter fin variety. I really like them because there's a lot less issues with fin rot or fin nipping with these fish. And even though they don't have the really impressive long finnage, I think they're just as beautiful. Some of you might be wondering why these fish do not have individual tanks to be housed in, and realistically, when you are dealing with such a large volume of fish, it just makes way more sense to keep them in smaller containers. The most important thing is actually that you maintain water quality. Clean, warm water is more important. Of course, giving your fish exercise in a larger tank is really fun, but the goal is that these fish are kept here short term, and long term they will go into their forever homes, which will be a nice and spacious fish tank. And speaking of lots of space, these ladies are spoiled. A lot of times when people think of a sorority betta tank, they will usually think of probably a 20-gallon tall or a 20-gallon long tank, which is something I've tried myself. Now, personally, I have not had any luck with betta sororities, and I don't really know a lot of people that have, but I do know that size of the tank and the circumstances of how you keep your fish really do matter. So in this case, this is kind of actually a good example of what could be a potentially good sorority, even though this is temporary because all these fish will be sold. So you have a large volume of water, so there's a lot of space. There is a lot of plants, so the fish can kind of feel safe or hide if they need to. And because there is a large volume of fish, the aggression is really evened out. So as you can see, there is very little, if any, fin nipping. It's really hard to spot any fin nipping among all these girls because it's hard for any fish to particularly target a fish or bully another fish. That being said, this tank was a lot of fun to watch. I mean, the amount of color in there was kind of overwhelming, but in the best way. And it was really cool to see all these little ladies interact with each other. Do you have any particular females that you might have seen in this video that you liked? My favorite is the female that's actually on screen right now. She is the black and red koi that's just swimming now to the bottom off the screen. She was in the shot for most of the time, but kind of reminds me of one of the old females that I had. Her name was Sushi, and she was super cute. So that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you liked it. If you did, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on future awesome fish and pet related videos. And I'll see you in the next video.